Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. I am so honored to have you here. If you're returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Today we are going through the rising sign messages. So this is for Aries rising. An Aries rising is a person who your rising sign is the place in your chart where the sun broke the horizon at the time, the place, and the date of your birth. And for an Aries rising, that means that your natural essence and your natural spirit came into this world to be initiator, to start something new, to begin again. And that can be really difficult because you can feel that energy all the time, that need for change, that need for you to shine forth, for you to start something, for you to really just go at it, just like the battering ram that represents your energy. The overall energy that we have for Aries during this Libra season, during Mabon, during Ostara, depending on whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere, respectively, is the I Ching and change. The I Ching is the book of lines, and it talks about, when you correlate it with astrology, it talks about the ways in which the planets will move from one of the hexagrams into the next hexagram. And the lines will change, and that will tell the story of the changes that you're going through. Now, change is one of those constants in the world. That's one of the things that you can always count on, is the energy of change. You can always count on change being a constant for you. And that is so important. And especially for you, Aries, because when you can count on change being a constant, and you really harness your ability to initiate that change, this is going to be your best effort, your best foot forward. Now, right now in your first house, you have Chiron retrograding. And there may be a lot of mother wounds coming up. There may be a lot of deep feelings surrounding your own personal self-expression in terms of your mother line or your actual mother in your life, or even just the more nurturing parent. That has been a really strong energy, but divine mother energy and divine feminine energy is also very strong with Chiron's healing through Aries, which may seem strange because it is retrograding through a masculine sign, but the energy is very mothering to me. It was something that I picked up really strongly about the lack of a mother or the lack of the love from the mother, and the abandonment wounds. Things like that may be very, very strong for you guys. And in this Libra season, there is this divine rebalancing being brought forth for you and for the collective as a whole within our divine masculine and our divine feminine energies. So how this reading is going to work is we have 4 piles, which are going to constitute 4 different areas of your life. But while they constitute 4 areas of their life, they're also going to be linked to the 4 primary moon phases, what signs those moon phases are in, and what houses. So we're going to start off in September 25th, which has the new moon in Libra, and that's in your 7th house. So we're going to start off in the realm of romance and love. And then we shift to October 2nd with the first quarter moon in Capricorn, which is your 10th house. That's your house of career and work and reputation and status and success in the world. After that, we're going to shift to October 9th, which is the full moon in Aries, and that falls into your first house. So this is all about you now, Aries. And after that, this final pile and the final moon phase is the third quarter moon in Cancer, in Cancer in the 4th house, which is that rooted, deep set energy, that mothering energy, the protection energy. And it also is the spirituality focused energy for your sign. There was a song that was coming through very strongly for your pile. And I'm going to pull up the lyrics here. The song is Bedhead by Manchester Orchestra, and I'm going to link it in the description box for you guys if you want to listen to it. But the lyrics that I was hearing were, oh my God, let me relinquish and start to distinguish my past and my time. You and I are oil and fire. So, oh my God, let me extinguish the habit, the sequence, the loss in my mind. Now I believe in the ghost. And then that actually changes and it shifts to you and I, because it says you and I are oil and fire. And then it goes, there is only love and fire. And then it finishes with you and I are holy fire. And that was something that was coming through really strongly. But at the very end, there is a little girl that talks and she says, he was teasing around town and cried, wolf, wolf. Everybody came to help, but there was no wolf. And so even though what this really tells me is you're really working and battling with the wounds of the past, but there is a caution that came in at the end. And I'm going to tell you, Aries, I may not be an Aries rising myself. However, I am an Aries chart signature. So Aries energy is very dominant in my energy field all the time. I know that I can have this tendency to see the worst or to see the best, and it just depends. But I can also become reactive and feel as though I have to protect myself immediately. And I know part of that is my Cancerian energy, but this song spoke so deeply to make sure that when you are raising a flag for anything, that the flag that you're raising is one that is the truth. There's something here about the divine truth that needs to come out within yourself. And that's coming through really, really strongly. And I don't mean to sound like really harsh for you guys, because I genuinely love Aries energies. And I think that you guys are really just amazing people. I have some pretty close friends who are Aries, Aries suns or Aries risings. And I respect so much the energy of initiation that you guys bring into the world, because there are so few people that just genuinely know how to do that. And you really teach so many people how to keep going, how to see where the changes need to be and make those changes. But it's very, very important as you're doing this to not get so caught up in the pain of having to change all the time without any feeling of regularity that the fires can burn out of control. And so that's just like a really strong message from your guides coming through of kind of mindfulness, like a deep, deep sense of mindfulness here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shift into the moon phases, and I am going to go over the collective energies of the moons, and then we'll go through the readings themselves. So give me just one moment and I will get your first pile up with the new moon in Libra. Okay, we are back. So I'm going to just set these down here and we're going to talk about the new moon in Libra. Again, this happens on September 25th, and this is happening in your 7th house. So this is your house of commitment. Commitment, contracts, partnerships, marriages, long-term committed relationships. As you are going through this new moon, collectively, we have a four planet blend of energies between Libra and Virgo. So this covers your 6th and your 7th house. So this is the house of self-love, self-care, work, service to others, your physical health, but also your spiritual cleanliness, your emotional health. And it crosses over into, with the new moon, so the sun and moon in Libra, it crosses over into the area of your relationships. So as I was looking at the charts, we've got Mercury retrograded in Virgo, conjunct Venus. Both of those are conjunct the moon, conjunct the sun in Libra. This is about you learning how to take care of yourself first, how to hear what your heart is saying and what your heart needs, and to hear what your body needs, and to hear where you find the true beauty within yourself. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder is what I'm hearing. But that was what I heard. But what I was going to say is beauty is not about feminine energy or masculine energy. Beauty is about, if you think about the way that a flower blooms, or the color of the bright green leaves of a tree as it contrasts with the bright blue of the sky as wisps of white clouds go by. That to me is such a beautiful, beautiful energy. It's a beautiful imagery. Even just the colors blending together during fall as the leaves change is something that I find so beautiful. So beautiful, like I said, was in the eyes of the beholder. So what you find beautiful within yourself is something that is very important for this stage of your journey, and especially this new moon. And new moons are all about planting the seeds for something new. This moon cycle, even though it's falling in your 7th house, it is not meant to be about setting the intention of something new coming into your life. It's not about setting the intention of something new within your relationship necessarily. This is an internal rebalancing energy, because the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Venus all crossing and carrying with Libra and Virgo energy are also making this trine with Pluto in Capricorn. And that means that it's how you view yourself and how you view your ability to connect to others determines your success. It helps you transform the success in your life. This is about you learning how to rebalance internally, harmonize internally, and allow for a time of transformation of who you are in the world in terms of your physical health, but also your connections to others. It's time to change the way in which you actually initiate connections. I'm getting trauma bonding. So this may be something that has happened a lot in the past. And that may be one of the things that you're starting to distinguish as a pattern from the past. And just as an FYI, I am not a licensed medical professional. I am an accredited psychotherapist, but I'm not a licensed PhD. So please take this with a grain of salt, or check with your medical professional. But I do know what trauma bonding is like because I used to do it. And I had to really come to terms with the fact that it was time for me to recognize how I was doing that and how it was negatively impacting my life. When you realize that, what you're really being called to understand during this moon phase is there are 3 things that Spirit is calling for us collectively. And so you need to think about where this applies for you, and especially in terms of your connections. The first thing Spirit is calling for us is personal accountability. The second thing is spiritual responsibility. And the third is to surrender. In order for a change to occur, you have to surrender to the change that is trying to happen. And surrender doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter to you. Surrender means you put yourself into a state of trust in yourself and in spirit. And I just saw 1414, which is making me think temperance energy. So let's take a look at your oracle cards, and then we'll pull out your tarot cards here and see what Spirit wants you to know about your new intentions and this moon cycle for the new internal self within connections that is ready to come forth. We have the card 11 with inspiration, the card 28 with ancestors, historical connections and purposes. We have last quarter moon in Gemini with clear your mind. The card 31 with hostilities, conflict and unrest. Yeah, remember, that's what I was picking up in the very beginning. Okay. And then we have Before I continue and read this card, this is the El Kui, I believe is how it's pronounced, Oracle deck, and it's the She Who deck. However, I am going to give a nod to Baba Jolie's guided messages because she universalizes this and says the one who instead of she who, so that there is no gender connotation. And I am actually going to take a leaf from her book and use it that way. I'm not using these in this sense for divine feminine energy, which is what I usually do. And because of that, I really wanted to make sure that I include all genders and all gender identifications within this group. So we have Shayla, one who creates creativity, originality, and spontaneity. Okay. So number one, your ancestors are coming through to help get clutter cleared out. And that's something that I picked up really strongly with you guys. That conflict between ancestral patterning and you recognizing how this patterning has really impacted your sense of self-worth, your sense of self-value, your sense of movement and flow in the world. You may even have had moments in your life in which you have felt as though you were taught to catastrophize certain things, or blame other people for things that it's almost like playing the blame game for someone just being themselves. Like, it's like saying, okay, well, this person needed to do this for themselves, and so they're just terrible. That's an ancestral pattern where it's a lack of accountability. And that was the number one thing that Spirit said it's time to do. We all must take personal accountability in order to end this state of conflict and unrest. And as you allow for that to happen, what's going to come through is you're going to have this greater awareness of the ways in which your ancestors are helping you overcome it, because your ancestors genuinely, they don't want us to continue their patterns. They really don't. When we heal our ancestral patterns, we heal our timelines throughout history. We heal what their souls couldn't heal in their lives. And they are eternally grateful to us for doing that. So sometimes it does genuinely take breaking yourself off from your family or breaking yourself off from whatever group it is that's feeding that part of you. Allow yourself during this new moon to just let your mind get cleared of all of the things that have been really making you feel weighed down, making you feel like you can't sit still, making you feel like the only thing that you can do is fight. Because it's not worth fighting. Life isn't meant to be fought. Yes, there are moments where you have to, and I will always acknowledge that because I know that I have had to fight for my life. I've had to fight for justice. I have had to fight for a great many things in my life. But I also know that sometimes you have to be willing to change how you view fighting, how you view being a warrior, how you view these things, because when you can move out of the conflict and out of the unrest and out of the hostility and out of this phase, when you can do that, Aries, when you can do that, what you're going to find is this inner inspiration, this inner light breaking through and this flood of creativity, but you have to get yourself clear first. And you have to understand if you're in something toxic, it is okay to walk away. Even if it's the scariest thing you'll ever do. I was in the most abusive, toxic marriage for 8 years of my life. We had 2 kids together and we're raising my eldest together that was not his biologically. And it was so difficult the day that I woke up and knew my marriage was over. It was so difficult to do that. And I had no choice. I could not continue in that pattern. I could not continue self-sacrificing for someone else, being in this constant state of unrest, this constant state of fear. And from that, it took me years to genuinely clear my mind, to recognize the patterns, to recognize all of these things, and then to move myself out of it. But when I did, it was a flood of creativity that I have heard from others have helped inspire them. That is actually why I'm here at this channel. Because when I was married to him, I was afraid of my gifts. And I had to overcome that. I had to forgive him. Sometimes the greatest change we can do is gifting something to someone who doesn't deserve the gift. Sometimes that's what we are being called to do, and it's the hardest thing we'll do. But this is really your roots being changed. So we have the card 4 with open up, 4 with joy and stability, and the card 7 with the crown chakra. Spirit is speaking so strongly. And when I said your roots being changed, it's because 31 reduces to a 4, and 4 to me is the emperor energy. That is roots. That is your energy. Your energy is everywhere here. It's very strong, but this is what Spirit is saying. Open yourself up here. Open yourself up, because joy and stability is meant for you. This hostilities is not meant to be in your life anymore. That is an ancestral pattern, and they want you to understand that. They want it cleared from your energy. You have the ability to open yourself up and to trust that. And Spirit is really coming in and like channeling this energy down, because there are some divine inspirations coming in for you. And this is going to help radically revolutionize the way that you come into union with others, communities, connections, close friendships, close business partnerships, loving relationships. When you allow yourself to really, truly open up, the word that's coming through is intimacy. Intimacy is where you're going to find joy and stability for this. But you have to surrender to that. And that's a hard thing to do, especially when you feel like the whole world is always against you. Let yourself get creative with how you do this, and let Spirit help you, because that inspiration is coming down from the skies no matter what. And these connections, they have a reason, they have a purpose. It's to help you heal. So we're going to move on to your career focus with the first quarter moon in Capricorn. I'm going to pause it, clear it out, and then transition over. All right. So we are going to shift now into the first quarter moon in Capricorn, which is on October 2nd. And this is hitting in your 10th house. So this is where you shift your focus from that romance, from that intimacy, that openness. And now this is career focused. Now we are changing how you come into your career, how you move forward in a more balanced energy in the world of the world, essentially. As we're doing this first quarter moon in Capricorn collectively is initiating a new emotional response by finding the triggers. The moon has a lot of tension in this chart. There was so much red as far as the aspects go, but it has so much potential with it. And that's something that's really great. You guys are very similar to Capricorn, whereas Capricorn is very good about, seeing a challenge and rising up to the challenge. You guys see a challenge and you're like, I'm going to burn everything down and just do it. And I truly so respect that of you guys. Like Aries, your energy, if it weren't for your energy being my chart signature, there would be times where I would have crumbled. But instead, I will light the fire and I will blaze it as strong as I need to. And that's because of Aries energy. So know that this is something that you have within you. Now, when we're talking about your career, this first quarter moon is an initiation phase. So this is your just natural energy. The moon is squaring off with the sun, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and Neptune. It's in a trioctile with Uranus, an octile with Saturn. This is a lot of tension. This is a lot of tension. This is anywhere that you look in the skies, essentially, you're going to be feeling tension. You're going to, like, anywhere that you approach your life, you're going to feel tension. And it's about recognizing where that tension is coming from internally. Taking accountability of that. This is gaining that inner awareness, because when you come forward into the world and you're looking for success in career and you are trying to launch something, like say you're launching a business, the first quarter moon in Capricorn for you should be a really great time to launch a business, but you need to have your inner emotions in a state of full awareness. So you have to surrender everything that came before, knowing that your inner world creates a cause and effect. So if you move forward in a state of like, well, it failed the first time, so it's going to fail this time, it's going to fail because you're putting that out there. If you move forward in an energy of, you know what, it failed the last time, but I learned this, and this, that's when you come out of it. Now, there are two huge factors here that are going to help that are subtle energies. And I love working with subtle energies because it's the subtle energies that when you tap into them, hold the most power, at least in my experience. So Black Moon Lilith is essentially the shadow aspect of the moon. But Black Moon Lilith is all about the places where we feel subjugated, the places we feel silenced, the places we feel diminished. Black Moon Lilith is now out of bounds. It's not following the pattern or the rules of astrology at all. It's saying, screw it all, I'm doing it my way. And it's sitting at the anaretic or the 29th degree of Cancer. The imagery that I keep getting from this is actually that meme of the chef who like sprinkles salt. And it's more of a magical release. I can't even remember what movie it is, but there is a movie where there's somebody who's wearing chains and they sprinkle some sort of powder or pour some sort of powder on the chains and the chains break. And that's kind of what I'm seeing is like Black Moon Lilith being out of bounds, being at this 29th degree is giving you this magical release from your ancestral and generational patterns that have made you feel subjugated, made you feel as though you have to follow in line. You have to follow in this path. You have to do this way. Anything that you have felt as though you're stifling your truest essence, this moon phase is going to help transform that. And in doing so, it transforms your success in the outside world. Now, the golden ticket energy that I was feeling from this is Mercury, who is at a standstill, turning direct in Virgo, having sovereignty, communicative sovereignty, because he's in his ruling sign, is also in harmony with Uranus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn. So you have your second, your sixth, and your 10th houses harmonized through Mercury here. And Mercury is still squaring off with the moon, but it's not that square energy is alleviated through the trine energy. So essentially, what you're being called to do is really transform and get creative, get innovative in the way that you communicate with the divine, with source, with your higher power, with your higher self, and get that communicative status or style really rooted into the physical world. When you can root the physical, the spiritual and the physical together, that's going to transform your career area. So let's get your oracle cards and then your tarot cards and we'll go from there. So, wow, guys, we have life purpose. That's huge energy. That's huge energy. That means that any initiation that you take during this time that you know is led by your intuition, led by your emotions, all of that grounded from guidance from the divine is going to be you moving into your life purpose. Now, a life purpose is something that you work forever on. It's the purpose of your life. It's not just about career. But when you make your life purpose your career, the magic of that is so profound. That's literally what I'm sitting here doing. Like I can't tell you enough how profound it is, me being on this channel and the way that it's changing and how everything is moving. I can't tell you enough what it feels like, but I can tell you that you're worthy of feeling that. And this moon phase is going to help you realize that you're worthy of feeling it. So then we've got 15 with Archangel Haniel with joy, blessings, and intuition. What did I say? Literally follow your intuition. But again, we have joy. There is such happiness just waiting for you. It just takes release. It takes surrender. And I say it just takes these things, but I don't take surrender and release lightly. It took me 13 years to move beyond my ex. 13 years it took me to get beyond that situation. And it was painful. It was horribly, horribly painful because I was not who I was supposed to be. I was not who I am. I was not this person that I am here on my channel. I wasn't me. And I had to embrace that change in order to step into this kind of phase. And you, my darling Aries, are at that place now in your life. We have last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. And then we've got 53, soul radiance with Phoenix rising. You guys are like one step ahead of the game, and I'll explain why, but we'll get into that. And then we have the one who knows, Yelena, wisdom, clarity, and resolution. This is a lot of throat chakra, third eye chakra, crown chakra, and then solar plexus. And I'm not saying that your heart gets skipped over. Your heart is just kind of blended in with it. But what I'm seeing here is there is this self-empowerment in sharing your true purpose, in sharing your truth, in sharing your wisdom. It's time for you to rise from the ashes. And like I said, you guys are Aries. You are good at burning shit down. Forgive my language, but you're good at burning shit down. This is what you're good at. You are good at stepping into the flames and letting it burn because you know you will always rise, and you know you rise stronger because fire is your natural essence. So let's see what we have. We have the 8 of goblets or the 8 of cups. Again, walking away. And then we've got the 2 of pentagrams or 2 of pentacles. And the Queen of bones or the Queen of wands. I apologize if you guys can hear the jingle. That would be Winifred. Let me go grab her. So when I paused it, I literally paused at 3313. And 13s for me and my son have been much akin to the number 23 from that Jim Carrey movie. So I had to share that. However, we have 2 8s on the board here. We have 2 8s and then a plethora of 2s into 6. So this is about, again, this is about balance and the physical world, building that balance, especially with a 22 energy. That's a builder energy. There is success here for you if you so choose. But you have to be able to see beyond the illusions. And once you see beyond the illusions, it's about finding that internal awareness. This is your soul radiance, your internal awareness. You know that your emotions have a cause and effect. So if you can walk away from the emotions that are not serving you, they're not bringing you what you need, you will find clarity. You will find that resolution, and then you'll be able to share that with the world. In this way, we're working with this career area. So this is really coming into balance by letting these emotional upheavals go, letting go of the crying wolf or letting go of the blame game and feeling shamed and feeling guilted and feeling subjugated, and allowing yourself to see that we're all doing the best that we can at any given point in time. And then allowing yourself to really let out whatever it is that you need to let out. This reveal what needs to be seen with the last quarter moon in Scorpio. To me, that is just, it's screaming like, let spirit in, because spirit is ready to show you something. Once spirit shows you that you are going to have a vision. You're going to have an insight. You're going to have an awareness. And that is something that the world needs to see. And you're the one who's going to bring it in. And it's not going to be brought in any like traditional way. It's going to be brought in your very own, very unique, fiery, Aries, passionate way. I am getting such a strong energy of your eyes here as well. You may have been told on multiple occasions that you have the most piercing eyes. Make eye contact with the world. Not necessarily like stare directly at the world. You know, I feel like I need to be like, okay, can we not be sarcastic here? Sorry, guys. I just like got hit with like Virgo energy like my husband has, like, oh yeah, how am I going to stare the eyes in the face? When you come into the world, when you're talking to someone, keep your eyes up, look at them, because they're going to see you. They're going to see you for your truth, for who you really are. Sorry, guys, I've got Winifred in here and she's moody. When it comes to your career and allowing for this new, very rooted divine energy, you know, when I talk about that communication with the divine in a very rooted way, that is literally looking at the world. It's looking outside and seeing outside your window and understanding that outside your window, there is an entire world out there. And in that world that's outside your energy, there is newness, there is communication, there is the divine, and you are connected to it all. The 8 energy is all about financial abundance and really, really grounding prosperity into your life. 2s are about balance and harmony and union and unification, but the 22 is a master builder number. Anybody who gets a 22 and gets that master builder number knows instinctively now is your time. A 6 is about harmony, balance, blessings. It's about unconditional love and equal give and take. And when you stand in your power and you know that you're in this balanced state, you know where your triggers are and you don't allow them to control it anymore. Once you see what all needs to be seen, you'll be able to stand in your power and come forward. Some of you may be called to be Reiki masters. I just picked that up from the Queen of Bones and the Archangel Haniel. If you are feeling called to the Reiki healing energies, please, by all means, check them out. I am a Reiki Grandmaster, and I am telling you that while the attunements will really, really rock you for a while, the healing that you get, the awareness that you get, the grounded, calm and centered that you get, and the ways that you can actually work with this energy are just so profound. So if you are feeling called to that, that may be a very good career for you. That may be part of your life purpose. And that doesn't mean that you have to be a healer. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a caregiver if that's not what you want. This is more about you learning what is really going to light you up. Because whatever it is that lights you up is what is through that gateway to your life purpose. And this first quarter moon is going to help you take those action steps. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your crown open to spirit. And I mean that in the way of like, spend some time with spirit. I don't mean like keep your crown open all the time. That's something that I had to learn the hard way too. And I just recently watched one of Lexi the Leo's videos where she essentially was like, you need to remember to close your crown down. And it was just kind of that little reminder that I always seem to need because I do struggle with taking on too much as a channeler. When you're a healer, that can be something that is a struggle as well. Alternately, some of you may be called to witchcraft. Please, if you are, please know that that is something that when the soul calls for a reason. And the longer that you fight it, the harder it is to change. It can be scary, but it also is very freeing. And it doesn't have to be the way that you see it in the movies. It's just genuinely not usually. But it is something that helps get you connected to the real world, to the physical world. I don't like saying the real world. I meant the physical world. gets connected to Mother Nature so that you understand that even out in the world, the trees have an essence. They have a soul. The leaves that grow on the trees have an essence and have a soul. The pets, the animals, the insects, everything has a divine essence. And when you're able to see that, you're able to actually gain a lot more clarity on your own personal soul. And that's such a huge thing. And that's really going to help you when you come forward into the world, because you'll find success when you feel like a success. All right, Aries, let's clear this off and we're going to dive into you and the full moon in Aries energy. Okay, Aries, without any further ado, I actually this is the first time where I've just jumped straight in. Usually I will take a break to let the energies kind of settle, but the way that your cards are falling, it's almost like no matter what you do during Libra season, everything is going to continue in a flow state. So please take that as a huge confirmation that if you've been seeking to be in the flow state, Libra season is the season for you to get into that. It's going to shift you into that flow state really, really easily. And it's a really beautiful thing. So congratulations. And I mean that genuinely, like from the depths of my heart, because getting into the flow state on a regular basis when you really don't understand it necessarily can be a challenge. This full moon in Aries happening in your first house, it's 100% self-focused. The sun, or the moon rather, is conjunct Chiron. This is soul level, soul deep, emotionally deep healing of yourself and of your spirit during this full moon. This full moon is where your intuition is going to be at its peak. The right actions will lead to the right results every time. If you doubt yourself, then you're not taking the right action. If you know definitively that this is what you're meant to do, it's the right thing to do. Step into a state of trust and just surrender to it. The other factor of this full moon is there is creative innovation in self-expression, and it's bringing more harmony into your life. When you can creatively express yourself, when you can really speak the truth of who you are. Like, as you can see, my throat chakra today is very, very open. It took a little bit for it to open this much, but your energy is seeking that self-expression. And because your energy is seeking that self-expression, when I touch into your energy, I'm able to show you what you can do with your energy. You have this spark inside of you right now, Aries. You have a spark that you're ready to bring forth, but you're scared to. And I can feel that fear. So with that fear, the suggestion that I would have would be shamanic fire meditations or doing some sort of violet flame purification. Violet flame purifications is great to call in Archangel Zadkiel. He helps with self-forgiveness, forgiveness of others, mercy, compassion, grace, blessings. And Archangel Z, as I like to call him, because he's my Reiki guide. And when I channeled him the first time, it was kind of, I didn't even know that there was an Archangel Zadkiel. I found it out after I channeled the name. So it was very profound for me. It was one of those moments where I was like, hey, how did I know this? But he is really wonderful and his energy is great. And oh my gosh, like you guys have it too. I've been seeing all of these light orbs, but I'm telling you, like I was looking on the camera and I could see it, but I'm looking in real life and there's nothing there. So that's really cool. All right. And take that as a confirmation from Archangel Zadkiel, please. Like seriously. Oh, whoa. That was really cool. My right or my left ear just started ringing super high pitched when I said that was a confirmation from Archangel Zadkiel, that light. That was really cool. I'm having all sorts of fun new experiences with you guys. But here's the best part. When I said that you guys are in this flow state energy and it's 44:44 on the clock. When I said you guys are in this flow state energy, it's because the energy of this moon is a Phoenix rising energy. And you literally had the Phoenix rising card in your last pile. Like, where is it? Yeah, you literally had this Phoenix rising card for the prior moon phase. which is telling me that you guys are one step ahead of it. And when you're one step ahead of it, you get to teach. You get to bring forth that awareness, that clarity, that abundance, that knowing. And now my ear is ringing again very, very loudly. So all of this is really focusing on the transformational power of finding a kind of harmonic balance within your heart and within heart-centered communication. The biggest message of this full moon in Aries, wow, my ears are ringing so high. You guys may have clairaudience coming online majorly during this full moon. There are major changes for you guys in this full moon, but this is healing your soul through opening up to the beauty of unconditional love. It's opening up to this understanding that you're worthy of love. Oh my gosh, the light orbs, you guys. Like there's nothing there when I look, but they're all over the screen. You guys are going through some sort of major change and I can feel it and it's literally appearing. This is so crazy, you guys. These readings have been off the charts, all of them so far, and you guys are the third one that I've done today and it's just been so insane. All right, so let's take a look here. So we have play and the card 20, and this is heart-centered. Again, heart-centered. We've got 25 with the goddess of dreams, vision, intuition, and receptivity. I told you guys were going to be getting a vision. In the last moon phase, I literally said you guys were going to be given a vision. Oh my goodness. Then we've got the first quarter moon in Pisces with honor your feelings. Ooh, 28, abundance, fortune, wealth, and plenty. And then one who, oh my gosh, one who hesitates. I swear to you guys, I do not look at these cards ahead of time. One who hesitates, Mora. Ponder, delay, and confidence. Remember when I said, if you move forward in this state, in this belief, in the last moon phase, what you were learning is about not hesitating. It was about knowing. It was about taking that directed action, because when you move forward with the expectation that it's going to fail, it's going to fail. But you're learning now. And so now you get to release it. With this moon, you get to cleanse it out of you, because now you know not to hesitate anymore. You know to be confident, be bold. You know, because you're going through all of these changes, you know how to really incorporate this balance, how to trust when you just want to go have fun. I'm literally seeing like fainting goats and frolicking goats. That may be resonant for some of you. I don't know, but that's literally the image I just got. It's just a bunch of fainting goats, which makes me giggle because let's be honest, fainting goats are probably some of the funniest creatures in all the land, but they are so playful. And that's the beauty of those type of goats. They are so playful. They love to jump around and do this and do that. And they really bring out that inner child essence and energy, even just watching them do that. Now, when you can bring that energy and essence out, you're going to essentially this full moon, as you release these things, these hesitancies, these delays and issues with your confidence, when you release those, because you're welcoming in so many of these changes, you're welcoming in this Phoenix rising energy, you're welcoming in this change, your dreams are going to start actually manifesting in your outside world. And it's all about knowing your worth, knowing that what you bring forth is what's meant to be brought forth. So let's take a look at your cards. Ooh, buddy. Yep. We've got the Tower card, the Six of Potions or the Six of Cups, and Dead Man's Toes. I love it. Justice, and the King of Candles or the King of Wands. Okay. So this is literally telling me that the tower that's falling is that past energy. We talked about this in the last moon phase, and this is why I say you guys are like one step ahead. So you know what's coming because of where you were in the last moon phase. So I'm actually getting that you guys are initiating this tower. You're initiating this tower because you're tired of holding yourself back. You're honoring the feelings that you truly have, but you're saying, you know what? I'm confident in who I am. I know my worth. I know what I'm here to do because I am me. And that gives you back, that puts you right back into that essence of Aries energy. But what you're doing is you're really knocking down the bravado. You're knocking down the I'm glorious and I'm amazing and whatever, because you understand, because you started with this Libra energy, you learned in the beginning about intimacy. So now you know that it's just the better path. It's like you just are learning finally that the better path is to not go after other people, but to change yourself. It's to not hide yourself away and pretend to be somebody else, but to really open yourself up and be truly intimate with somebody. It's about changing how you move in the world, because Aries energy, as you know, because it's so innate and natural to you, can be very boisterous. I don't want to say egotistical, because I think that the ego gets a bad reputation out in the world. And I personally think that without our egos, I mean, our egos are essentially who we are. Like, Monica is my ego. And in that sense, for me, my ego is in balance when I am true to myself and not harming anybody else. When you are true to yourself and not harming anybody else, when you are intimate and open and vulnerable, that's when you start understanding your dreams. And that's when that confidence boost comes back up. And as that confidence boost comes back up, you start really seeing the joy of life rather than the downfalls, rather than the pains. You really start understanding that essence again. Aries, you have traditionally struggled. Forgive me, I feel a little awkward saying this because I'm saying this to complete strangers, but I can feel the truth of it. And now my ears are ringing again, which is just confirmation that this is the right message. You traditionally have been very, I don't need anybody, I can go it alone. And you push people away and you hurt people. And it's because, yeah, sure, you can go it alone. You can. But is it worth it to live that life? You may be very powerful. You may be very wealthy. You may have this and that. But what are your feelings telling you? And are you having fun with your life? And if you're not, why not? Where you are naturally confident. You are a naturally confident person. But it should never come at the expense of another person. And your guides have been trying to tell you this, I have the feeling. And I have the feeling that a lot of you have been hearing it and changing that. And that's a hard thing to do. And like I told you guys, I have a lot of Aries energy myself. It's my dominant energy. That means that I know that hurt people hurt people. I've said it in other readings. It's like deeply ingrained in my Something Spiritually Catchy book, which FYI is available on Amazon. And the link is in the description box, and it might help you a lot because it actually talks about me with an Aries that I struggled with a lot as a friend. But I had to come to terms with the fact that we both were just kind of doing the things that we shouldn't be doing. We were hurting each other and we needed to walk away from each other. And I used that understanding and that awareness to transform it into a lesson that I could teach other people about self-empowerment. But self-empowerment should never come at the expense of somebody else. And this full moon is helping you learn how to focus on yourself without creating sacrificial lambs in your life. It's like learning how to walk away from the pains of the past. And there's so much here, again, that feels very, very tied to your ancestors, tied to your family, tied to your childhood. This may be a time for you to do some deep inner healing, some deep inner child healing. I know Celtic Fairy Tarot is amazing with inner child healing. So is Lexi the Leo. They are absolutely incredible. I know I have some stuff planned for it as well. And I do have a couple of inner child healing messages, or just one, I think. But find what resonates and allow yourself to change. The Tower card is not meant to bring fear. The Tower card is that illusion of fear because change needs to happen. And the Six of Potions, it's got a bunch of broken bottles. Isn't it better to not walk around feeling that brokenness? Not walk around feeling as though you're going to be roasted over the fire? And instead understand that you have a worth and a purpose in this world, and it's okay to have fun. Life isn't meant to be that serious. Okay, let's shift into the third quarter moon in Cancer. I feel like this was a little disjointed, this part, because the messages that came through were just so powerful. But Aries, man, my heart goes out to you guys. So I'm going to pause it and shift over. All right, Aries, we are shifting now to October 17th, the third quarter moon in Cancer. And this is now where we're going to be diving down into your roots, but also your spirituality. This is really getting into the essence of you and where you came from. And with your pile, especially there, or your rising sign, there have been major energies of your ancestors, of cleansing from the past, of changing these patterns. So this is a huge third quarter moon, because this is where things start kind of coming down from that real peak of change that you've had, where things start settling down, you start understanding, you start becoming aware. And as we talked about with the last moon phase, this is where you step into that teacher role way easier. And again, my ears are ringing like crazy. So if there was ever a time in which you were looking for constant confirmation, my clairaudience it's off the charts with your piles specifically. So with this third quarter moon, the soul is harmonizing with Jupiter and Neptune. This is a harmony of inner expansion. You're learning and embracing self-compassion. You are learning and embracing your psychic gifts. You are moving into a state of ease to accept your own uniqueness. And when you accept who you are and your own fiery craziness, like a fainting goat, it really breaks that tension that you've been holding on, of that imbalanced focus on love that just isn't heart-centered love. And that again comes back to the very beginning when we talked about trauma bonding. When you trauma bond, you do truly love the person, but it isn't a love that is natural. It's not an unconditional love. It's one that plays off of the wounds in order for you to learn the patterns so you can break yourself free of those patterns. Now, we're collectively learning through this moon phase about emotional undercurrents. And these emotional undercurrents are what create illusions of it's me against this, it's me against that. It's like the self versus union in harmony and balance when it comes to love. And you, especially Aries, have been learning about intimacy, learning about vulnerability, learning about opening yourself up, because in that is where you find your joy. That's where you find your stability of self and confidence of self and the true nature of your connection to the divine, but also your connection to other people. This is all based off of lies that we have been told throughout our lives, based off of either ancestral patterns or just structures within the world that have been subjugational in nature, that really do hold back the divine feminine from unifying with the divine masculine. And we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energies, but we can also identify our own energy and find its counterpart in other people. The real key to this moon is that there's going to be a lot more communication from spirit. And I'm already seeing that with your pile. I told you guys you were one moon phase ahead. So that huge communication dump is already beginning for you guys as we move into this moon phase. Intuition and psychic insights are going to be heightened, physically felt. And for most of the piles I was getting, it was going to be felt in the heart and the higher heart chakra. For you, my third eye is throbbing. My root is like blowing up. I feel like I am going through a really rapid Kundalini activation right now. And this is very, very unusual for me. So I am telling you that I'm picking up energy from you guys, and this is how it's manifesting. But as I acknowledge the energy, I can feel it dissipating from the pressure of it, and it feels easier. This is going to help rebalance you. Acknowledgement, awareness, personal accountability. This is all going to help you tremendously. Now, what I got, this message that I got was all of this, everything that we're doing, all of this month is for the healing of the divine masculine in such a huge way in the world. And it's through breaking the inner divine feminine free. This breaking free is going to be found through fueling creative, inspirational solutions of communicative action by using Mars in Gemini. So Mars in Gemini has been an energy that has had me really wary, really kind of worried about how the world is going to react, because when Mars went retrograde in Aries in 2020, it kind of created chaos. But when we know better, we do better. So this is actually more of an internalized energy. This is about the right words, the right inspiration, the pure motivation, and spiritual elevation of awareness. And I have already said, I didn't even remember that that was in the message, the spiritual elevation of awareness. But that's literally what I said with you guys, or not necessarily literally, but the gist of it. My ears are still ringing. This is crazy. There's so much energy moving through with you guys. Wow. Okay. So we're gonna move into the cards. I just looked at your first oracle card and I get it. We have the card 30, and I am presence. And this is your soul star chakra. This is like the highest level. This is straight up divine connection. Wow. Oh my God. Divine presence. The card 44, the force of love and creation. Holy cow, Aries. Your life is changing. Your spirituality is changing. Your connection is changing. We've got the last quarter moon in Virgo, and attend to the details. Ooh, something major. Again, we have the card 23, shamanic journey, purpose, attunement, and vision quest. You guys were the ones that I said healing. Reiki, you get attunements, but you guys are stepping into your life purpose. This is huge energy. Some of you may be called to a horse spirit. I think it's Ceridwen, Cerridwen is the goddess. Oh no, Rhiannon. There it is. Sorry guys. Rhiannon is the horse goddess, Celtic horse goddess. You may be called to her, or she is actually trying to connect with you, is what I'm feeling very strongly. And again, confirmation via ears ringing really loudly. And this actually makes me think of her. It's almost like she's been watching out for you or watching over you, and she's just been waiting for you to connect to her. She is trying to step forward as one of your guides to help you move forward in your life, but definitely in your spirituality. Wow, you guys may be going on a trip. That's really random, but I looked at this card and I just saw a plane flying. So you may be traveling like across the ocean. I didn't expect that. Okay. The one who nurtures, Colette, empathy, gentleness, and insight. And it does not surprise me whatsoever, because we have the moon in Cancer. So the moon in Cancer is this gentleness, this nurturing energy, but it's also in your 4th house, which is the house of home and hearth. So this is about you really stepping into your home within yourself, your home within the world, your home within spirituality, your home within spirit. It's knowing that you have spirit all around you. It's knowing that you have spirit within you. It's welcoming spirit in. And now I'm being brought to my spiritual showers that I take on a daily basis. And what I do is I call in the elements, and I literally will turn my body to the north, to the east, to the south, and to the west. And I will call in the elements. I will welcome them into my shower and ask them to help me with certain aspects, because my shower is in the basement, so I'm surrounded by earth. But you can incorporate different features of the elements into your shower. You automatically have water, and you can actually use fire in the sense of you can either have candles, or you can see that like hot water is heated from a fire, like that. It's just how it works. So that is water and fire blended together. When you take a hot shower, you're literally working with blending out the element of fire and water. But everywhere you will go, there is air as well. And you can put salt in your bath or scrub your body with salt to get that earthy energy. If you have a basement like me, you actually are surrounded by earth at that time. And so it's like being in this nurturing cocoon, essentially. But doing something like that could be very, very beneficial for you during this third quarter moon, because you really are getting a lot here. You're getting a lot of spiritual upgrades, of psychic upgrades, of just a lot. There's a lot happening here. That shouldn't surprise me, because your overall energy is this I Ching change. So let's get your cards. We have the Ace of Cups. I want that in the middle. The Queen of Earth. Holy cow! And the Ten of Earth. You guys have the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. I got nothing, Aries. Like, I'm actually I'm seeing the scene from Wayne's World where they're like, we're not worthy. That's kind of how this feels right now. Like, I feel like I'm in the presence of, seriously, I feel like I'm in the presence of source or spirit energy. I feel like I am like directly connected to the universe via your energy. And that's what's changing here. Whatever you're doing with your spirituality changing, when you recognize all of this, I'm being brought back to Bedhead. You guys definitely need to listen to that song. Listen to the lyrics. Look up the lyrics. There is something in there that's going to initiate. It's going to kickstart this. But this is a new sense of love. This is prosperity, abundance, nurturing. This is everything that you have been fighting for is here. It's just here. It is rooted in you. And as soon as you realize it's rooted in you, you bring it forth. I told you were going to have a vision. You're going to receive a vision. Whatever that vision is, please follow it. Please follow it, because you are like, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Your energy is amazing right now. Okay, Aries, I'm going to clear this board and we're just going to get some closing messages for you guys. But wow. These readings and this season have been off the charts. Just absolutely intense and amazing. Oh, wow. They were ready. Okay, so we have the card 10 with communication. And this talks about psychic communication. Again, the card 15 and hands. And again, we are talking Reiki energy, building, master builder energy. And then we have tea leaves and foresight. And does that not look like an angel to you guys? Do you guys see that? Does that look not in the tea leaves? It looks like an angel. It looks like Gabriel blowing Gabriel's trumpet. And then on the back, we have the card 5 and family. Again, ancestral spirit. Some of you may be getting, first of all, we said visions continually. That's the foresight. However, we mentioned Reiki energy, but your hands are the proponents of crafting. In this world, You think about monkeys. Monkeys are our closest animal relatives because they have the same mannerisms. They are very smart. They have those opposable thumbs. Their hands create. Their hands bring food. They bring nurturing. They create. They clean each other. They cleanse each other using their hands. There is such a strong Reiki energy with you guys. If any of you guys are called to it, Amy Flegar, she does Udemy courses for sure, but she's amazing. She is my Reiki master, and she taught me or attuned me to Reiki Grandmaster training as well. She's amazing and her pedigree is phenomenal. But that's definitely one big way. Alternately, some of you may be realizing that you can actually psychically heal. And that's a true blue genuine gift. And I just saw 11101 synchronicities because this is a 10. So that's a 1, then 1155. Spirit does not want that lowered down. It was like 1155. So 1155 may be significant, or 5511, or any variation of those may be significant for you. You're rebuilding something. You're rebuilding like a soul family, but you're rebuilding your connection to your roots and your family and your soul family. Star seeds, ancient wisdom, ancient ways, Lemuria, Lyra, Mintakan, Pleiades. Those are all ones that I'm getting here. Richard the Lionheart is coming through for some reason. I don't know. There's just a lot coming through here. It's almost making me feel a little bit nauseous. I'm going to have to ask Spirit and my guides to kind of back it off a little bit. Sorry guys. Sometimes it does get really overpowering, but with this communication card, there is so much divine communication surrounding you right now because your soul family is coming in. There's massive changes here. But the changes are all starting with you. 100% starting with you. Reiki is so strong with you guys. Even if you don't want to practice it as a profession, it's part of your purpose here to heal yourself. To heal yourself from these patterns, from these wounds, from these traumas, from these things that have been perpetuated in your family line for far too long. It's part of your purpose to heal it. This moon phase, this Libra season, Mabon and Ostara, and these moon phases and these moments for you are really, really, really primed to help you with this, Aries. And remember, this is Aries risings. So Aries, I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for your absolutely phenomenal energy. This has been absolutely amazing for me. So thank you so much. If this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell up in the corner. Chiron's retrograde guidebook is available on Amazon. So is Something Spiritually Catchy. Those are linked with my author page in the description box. Please check those out. I really think they would help you guys tremendously. Like tremendously. And when it comes to the guidebooks, the retrograde guidebooks, you can always go back and pick up the energies from before, and that actually helps get you ahead of things. That's actually how I find myself kind of ahead of energies, is when I work through it ahead of time. Then when it comes in, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. Or I will actually consult my own books because I don't remember what I channel 99% of the time. And so I go back and continually consult my books when I'm channeling. Those 2 books would be really beneficial for you. I don't like self-promotion usually, but when I know that Spirit is like, yes, this is important for you, I'm going to tell you it's important for you because you've been doing this alone, feeling alone, and enduring alone. And these books are meant to help you understand you're not. So take a chance, take a risk, take a change, make a change, and check it out. Let me know down in the comment section below if you are so inclined, any piece of the vision that you're getting, because I really want to know. But I also feel like when I think about you guys getting a vision, I actually feel like a kid sitting outside, or like sitting on the stairs waiting for Santa to finish delivering the presents so I can go and find my presents. Or like waiting for the Easter bunny to hide a basket so I can go and find my Easter basket. It's that anticipation that you feel because you know it's going to be something phenomenal. No matter what it is, you just know it is. So whatever it is, I'm really excited for you, Aries. All right. Thank you again so much for your amazing energy. Thank you for being in the world. Thank you for everything that you do for yourself, for others, for the world, for spirit. Thank you. Aries, you're freaking awesome. All right. Don't forget. Oh no, I said all of that. All right. Love you guys. Bye.